up, you guys? For today's video, we are going to be doing something a little bit different on my channel, and I know I've been saying that a lot lately, but definitely today we are going to be doing something different. And for today's tutorial, we are going to be using the Melt Cosmetics Smoke Sessions palette as well as the Gemini palette. Tomorrow is 4/20, and I know a lot of you guys out there do celebrate it. Honestly, I have never smoked weed a day in my life, and I know a lot of YouTubers out there go, I've never smoked weed, and you can definitely tell they have. But for me personally, I just never really had the desire to get high or get the munchies. I was like, why would people want that? And I'm just more of a Mountain Dew drinker, and I like candy, and I like to play video games, so I just never had the desire to do it. Not to mention, when I was in high school, I was never around people. I would rather be on my computer or doing makeup. But anyways, I just thought it would be really fun if we did a look using these palettes today. Not to mention, I spent a lot of money on these, and I was like, I never get the excuse to use them. So I thought it'd be fun if we did a look using them today. As always, I'm going to prime my eyelids using my absolute favorite primer, which is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I know a lot of people don't really like this primer because they prefer concealer, but man, this one is just my absolute favorite. And I'm also going to dust a skin tone colored eyeshadow just to set that primer. So the first palette that I'm going to dip into is Gemini, and I'm going to go into Mochi, which is kind of a lighter green shade. And with this Makeup of the Day Build and Blend brush, I'm just going to be applying it into my crease and blending it really up there towards my brow bone. I really want this look super smoked out. And I'm using this Makeup of the Day Build and Blend brush. I'm really fluffing this one outwards. I'm doing little circular motions. So once you have that blended out, the next shade that I'm going to go into is called Fire OG, and I'm going to go in with a Sigma E35. And then with this shade, I'm going to apply it into my crease and blending it around my outer V as well. I'm doing little circular motions as well in my crease to blend it into Mochi. And to help me blend those two together a little bit better, I'm just going to add a little bit more Mochi on that Makeup of the Day brush that we applied Mochi with. I'm just going right over the harsh line. I'm doing little circular motions to blend the two together a little bit better. So once you have that applied, the next shade that I'm going to go into is called Leo, and I'm going to go in with this Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush. And then with Leo, I'm going to be adding it into my crease and into my outer V. I want this shade to really bring us in some extra dimension. I'm doing these little circular motions just to blend it into everything. This is definitely going to be an extremely smoky type of look, but honestly, I think it just kind of goes with the vibe. I also did forget to tell you guys this in the beginning of the video, but I did do a dupes video to the Gemini palette since it is discontinued. I will leave that one in the description box down below because I did a huge video and I did a side-by-side comparison. And let me just tell you, I did find some amazing dupes to this palette. Do you guys ever talk to your significant other or a family member when you're doing your makeup and they say the dumbest thing and it just doesn't make any sense? My boyfriend right now is thinking that I have Hawkeye colored eyeshadow on. And if you're not familiar, they're a football team in Iowa, and his favorite team, and it's he's your eyeshadow is yellow and black. And it's dude, where? Where's the yellow and where's the black? All I see is weed green. And he's well, it looks yellow and black. And it's dude, where are you getting this from? And I'm just sitting here just are you kidding me? This is my life right now? Because he wasn't the artistic type. You know what I mean? Some people are just really into arts and stuff, and he was more into sports, which is definitely the opposite of me. But it's just dude, where are you getting that? My dad does the exact same thing to me, and it's just oh my gosh, what is my life? But yeah, so here is where I'm at right now with the look, and low-key, I feel this look is super cool. Granted, I'm a huge sucker for green eyeshadows and those mossy kind of rich greens. And then off camera, I am going to cut my crease using my absolute favorite concealer, which is the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Fair. So here's where I'm at right now after cutting the crease and letting my concealer 100% dry, and the next shade that I am going to go into is called Granddaddy out of the Smoke Sessions palette. And then using a dampened BH Cosmetics flat shader brush, I'm just going to be really packing this shade on anywhere that the concealer is showing. You don't want to do a swiping motion, otherwise it'll make the shadow look really weird and not so glittery and sparkly. So you really want to make sure that you are pressing it into that concealer. And the next shade that we are going to go into out of this Smoke Sessions palette is called Sour Diesel. It's kind of the matte kind of brown shade in the palette, and I'm going to go in with this Real Techniques shading brush. So to help me blend the lid shade into the crease, I'm just packing this shade on in the outer kind of third of my lid. And I'm making sure I'm really pressing it in and flicking it inwards so it just kind of blends itself. I didn't realize how monochromatic this look was until right at this moment. I'm dang, I've not done a monochromatic look in forever. But this is actually really pretty. And to help me get that super seamless blend, what I'm going to do is take whatever is left on that BH Cosmetics brush that we applied the lid shade with, and I'm just lightly patting on top of that dark matte shade that we just applied. And I'm like really lightly pressing it. As you can see, like my hand is like barely on the brush. Like I have it like right at the tip. Oh my gosh, that is like the worst stroke ever, but why did I say that? But I'm like lightly dusting it right on top. And this will help us get like that really nice, pretty gradient fade. And then if you're still having like issues kind of getting it to do what you want it to do, you can just take like your finger and lightly pat right in between the two shades. So what I'm doing is I'm packing from one side to the other, or pressing I should say. I'll do it with my pinky so you guys can see a little bit better, but then I just kind of go right over that harsh line. And it'll just like blend itself for you. This is like the worst angle of me, oh my god. As you can see, it just kind of keeps on getting better. You do want to do this a couple of times though, and then you'll get like that really, really nice kind of gradient fade. But yeah, so here is where I'm at right now with the look, and honestly, I feel like this look is so badass, and I really like how it's kind of like monochrome, and it's kind of like your traditional smoky eye, but it still isn't, since it does have like that pop of green to it. And off camera, I am just going to apply my foundation and all of that. So here's where I'm at right now with the look, and then for the lower lash line, I'm just going to take a little bit of Fire OG on this Luxie 231 small tapered blending brush, and I'm just going to run it right underneath the lower lash line. And I do want to mention I did tightline and do my waterline with black pencil, but I did not smudge it down. So once you have the lower lash line blended out, the next thing that I'm going to go into is the Sleek Makeup Solstice highlighting palette, and I'm going to go into this kind of like peachy shade with this Luxie pencil brush. So this is definitely one of those do as I say, not as I do, because on the back of this palette it says avoid contact with the eyes. If product gets into the eyes, rinse well with water. But you know what? We're going to be living life on the edge. So I'm just going to pack this really heavily into my inner corner. Because YOLO! I mean, does anybody even say like YOLO anymore? Or is it just me? I mean, I just say it when I'm really being sarcastic, but like, does it like anybody actually use that term anymore? But either way, I'm just going to pack the shit out of this in my inner corner with this brush dampened. Why wouldn't they make it so you could put it in the inner corner? Because that is just so stinking pretty. But yeah, so here is the finished look, and for today's look, I really wanted to do a look that was very like smoky, edgy, and grungy. I didn't want to do like the smoky eye with like a peach lip type of thing. I wanted to do something just a little bit different, and I really love how this look turned out. I could see myself wearing it a lot. Like, I just love these types of tones, and I think they're just so beautiful on everybody. But with that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and as always, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below, and if you would like to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and until next time, bye!